Back in Houston, it's Cancer Awareness Weekend around the NFL this weekend. Very nice touch before the game. Coin toss going out onto the field. Rosalind Jackson, whose son Kareem, defensive back. There is Janice McNair, who is the wife of Bob McNair, the owner and founder of the team, and Deanne Watson, the mother of the great Deshaun Watson, the rookie. All cancer survivors going out to the field. And there is Deshaun, who grew up in Greenville, Georgia, and went to Clemson. And take a look right now at the standings. First of all is Andy Reid and his Kansas City Chiefs on top. Denver is 3-1. They had a bye this week. Oakland lost today. Chargers won. They're 1-4. Meanwhile, Jacksonville 3-2. Big win at Pittsburgh today. The Texans. This look at the Chiefs being brought to you by Kia. Visit kia.com to learn more. So 30 games, regular season games. That's almost the equivalent of 2 full seasons. 26-4 are the Chiefs. Phenomenal. And with a little Kansas City barbecue providing the backdrop. 4th in points per game, 26, allowing the fewest, 17 per, 62 takeaways, most in the league, and plus 37 turnover margin, best in the league. So on both sides of the ball, they have been great. But of course, in Kansas City now, with Andy Reid in his 5th year, it's about January, and they hope February too.
They certainly have a chance the way they're playing right now.
So the rookie Butker to kick off, and it will wind up as a touchback to the 25. They come, and we go to Michelle.
Well, here's what we do know, Al. Texans linebacker Whitney Merciless is out with a chest injury, so that's one. Now, J.J. Watt came to the sideline, and you could see him grimacing. If he wasn't crying, let me tell you, he was fighting awfully hard not to. They did an examination on the field that focused on his ACL and MCL. He's currently in the medical tent, and we're waiting for word, Al.
Man, oh man, there you see him, and 2 vital parts to that defense. Meanwhile, offensively now, they come up in this formation with Deshaun Watson making his 4th start, and it's a good start for Lamar Miller. Their leading ground gainer picks up 8. So last week, 57 points against the Titans. 3rd rookie with 4 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown in the game. Fran Tarkenton and Charlie Connolly going all the way back with the others. 2nd and 1. Lining up with a tight end in the backfield. Off a play fake. Watson fires over the middle and is lucky that one wasn't picked off. Intended for Hopkins. Sorensen providing the coverage on it. So Watson played at Clemson, as you know, if you follow football. Tremendous performance in the championship game out of the town of Gainesville, Georgia. It's about an hour drive northeast of Atlanta, and they have to put J.J. Watt on the cart to take him back for more attention.
You know, some of that emotion has to be, he's been through so much, missed last season, back surgeries, and he's got to be thinking, here we go again.
Now they have Chris Thompson on a sweep, and he'll pick up a 1st down and a lot more. Quite a call on the 3rd down and 1. Gain of 19 yards for Thompson, the rookie out of Florida.
Here comes Thompson right across, just going to hand it off to him, and he's going to go around the end. So many teams use this now because what it does is it slows down the pass rush. Justin Houston, who is over on that side, has to at least think about if that guy's going to get the ball and zip around him before he can really react to it. So much of this offense is, I don't know, hard to follow. It really is. It's hard to figure out who has the ball.
Confusing to the defense anyway. 1st down at the 47. Play clock went all the way down, and there's no room there, but a 2nd burst by Miller. That's a few yards. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Deshaun Watson, Clemson.
Lamar Miller, the U.
DeAndre Hopkins, Daniel High School. Will Fuller V, Notre Dame.
Bruce Ellington, University of South Carolina.
Ryan Griffin, UConn.
Chris Clark, Southern Miss.
Xavier Suafilo, UCLA.
Nick Martin, Notre Dame.
Jeff Allen, Illinois.
Bruno Giacomini, Louisville.
So it's second down and 8 now from the 45-yard line. Play action. Watson fires. That's caught. That'll be a first down. Ryan Griffin, one of their good tight ends, making the catch, picking up the first down. And there goes Watt.
Well, for a guy who played a lot of shotgun in college, almost never under center, he seems to have adapted very well to this play action stuff. They got the running game going with Lamar Miller. Now you come back with the play action. I can't believe how comfortable Watson looks. We saw him in week 2 in Cincinnati, and he was good, made a great run in the game, but I don't know that I would have ever foreseen this sort of explosion of offense in just 2 weeks since.
A lot of traffic coming out of that backfield. And Miller is taken down at the line of scrimmage. Let's take a look at the Chiefs defense.
Chris Jones, Mississippi State.
Benny Logan, Red River High School.
Alan Bailey, University of Miami. Justin Houston, Georgia.
Derek Johnson, Texas.
Reggie Ragland, Alabama.
Frank Zombo, Central Michigan.
Marcus Peters, West Oakland, California.
Daniel Sorensen, BYU.
Ron Parker, Newberry College.
Terrence Mitchell, Oregon.
A classic bend don't break defense. Now you got Ellington looking to pass, but the Chiefs have everybody covered, so now Ellington's going to try to take off. Here comes your first flag of the game, and he's taken down to the 35-yard line. So a little trickery and deceit, but the Chiefs were not fooled, and we'll get our first call of the night from Ron Torbert.
Yeah, right there in gimmick range, and you could tell what they were trying to do, trying to get the ball back to Deshaun Watson on the pass.
In the back by the offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
He wanted to show us it was in the back, so he turned his back. I thought that was clever, yeah.
Very.
So they're going to come over and hand it off going this way, and you could see Watson. And remember, in order to be an eligible receiver, the quarterback has to be in shotgun. He can't be under the center. So they set it up, and nicely done by Ellington to at least realize there was absolutely nothing there. Recognized right away by Frank Zombo on the outside, and I don't think there was plan B.
So second down and 19 after the penalty. 3.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Houston's first drive, and they go 5 wide on the second and 19. Four-man rush, good pocket, deep downfield, and that's almost picked off. Intended for Ryan Griffin. Marcus Peters diving for it. Couldn't come up with it. 3rd and 19.
Well, Jeff Allen is the right guard, and he's going to have his hands full. Oh, there's J.J. Watt again. Ugh. Coming right there, and this Chris Jones inside is going to play a really key role tonight. Of course, Kansas City has some good rushers on the outside, most notably Justin Houston. But it is going to be Chris Jones whose job it is, once they pin Deshaun Watson in the pocket, for him to get the interior pressure and get after him. He did there.
They have Lamar Miller and Deontay Foreman both in the backfield. They send them into the patterns. Watson dancing around, extending, and then throws to the sideline and incomplete. There's a flag down. So it was 3rd down and 19.
Holding. Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty.
It's a 10-yard penalty. They want to take it.
Kansas City is elected to decline that penalty.
Right.
Result of the play is 4th down.
So 4th and 19. And really not in field goal range.
You know, it's so interesting to me to watch Bob Sutton and this defense operate. More and more now, we're seeing them go with 3-man rushes and drop an extra guy in coverage. And Bob was telling me so many teams do this quick throw offense. It's like, am I better off sending him after the quarterback where I'm probably not going to get there, or drop a couple extra guys in coverage? That's exactly what he did.
Shane Leckler, clearly one of the best punters of all time. And that's fielded at the 2-yard line and then run back by DeAnthony Thomas out to about the 10. KC with the ball again and a 3-0 lead in Houston.
Every time we used to talk about Alex Smith, it was how quickly he got the ball out of his hands, short, quick throws. Well, no more. Look at the percentage of throws 20 or more yards down the field this year from Alex Smith. have gone way up. And here's maybe even more relevant, how much more accurate he has been down the field, right on target with those throws. And as a result, the quarterback rating through the roof, 158.3, perfect, and he's very close to it.
He's always been known as what they call a game manager, the all-time cliche. Not this year, not at all. From the 11-yard line. Running back is the rookie Kareem Hunt. Flare him out. And Smith fires, caught up at the 21-yard line by Tyreek Hill. Like a video game. Picks up 14 yards, his first catch of the night, and a first down.
If that's a video game, I would have pulled my fingers on that one. That is, anytime though you have the kind of pass rushing weapons out of the game that the Houston Texans do right now, you have to be more tempted to throw the football. Tyreek Hill, he just wants a chance. Jadeveon Clowney just ran by him and barely touched him.
Sherman back in at fullback. Hunt in the eye. Smith moves Sherman to the outside. Looks left. Throws on the run. Under pressure that time, and the pass is incomplete. Second down. Back we go to Michelle again.
Well, not surprising. Bad news for J.J. Watt. He is out with a knee injury. You saw him leave on a cart where he had to drape his leg over the side because every other position he tried to put his leg in was too painful for him. They took him straight to the x-ray room where he remains right now, guys.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been an ankle or a foot. Turns out to be a knee.
Well, you could see that Brennan Scarlett kind of clipped his heels, and then he clipped his own heels and landed awkwardly. It was
Second and 10. Bunching the receivers to the right side. Give it to Hunt, and he cannot get untracked. They have figured him out at least at the outset. Dylan Cole, the rookie out of Missouri State, makes the tackle. And Hunt right now, 7 attempts, 7 carries for a net 2 yards.
How about that play by Dylan Cole? He was facing a stiff arm there from Kareem Hunt, and watch him strip away right there the arms when Hunt comes up, and he just says, get out of here with that. They are attacking this running game, and they are going to force Alex Smith to beat him. Ordinarily you go, okay, here's J.J. Watt, here's Merciless getting after the quarterback. Those guys aren't there now, though.
3rd and 11. To the outside he goes, and that will be caught inbounds and good for a first down as Chris Conley comes up with his second grab of the night. So again, on a 3rd down and long, as they did on their first drive, they convert.
Let me show you one of the most improved players in the National Football League right now. Eric Fisher, yes, he was the #1 overall pick going against another #1 overall pick in Jadeveon Clowney. But if they can leave Fisher out there one-on-one, there you are on their respective draft days in 13 and 14. But if Fisher can handle Clowney out there one-on-one, it's going to be a big night for the Chiefs.
From the 37-yard line. And Hunt again stopped after a minimal gain, called it 2, 2nd down and 8 for Kansas City.
Yeah, while we're staying on the offensive line for a minute, Cameron Irving is coming in as the right guard now. They have Laurent Duvernay-Tardif got hurt, and Jordan Devey played there last week, but Cameron Irving, a former #1 draft pick, playing in Cleveland, they ended up getting him in a trade for a 5th-round pick, and he's getting the start here tonight.
Chiefs will let the clock run out in the first quarter. Houston had the ball for only 1 drive, and the Chiefs have had the ball for almost 10.5 minutes. End of the first, 3-0 Kansas City. Sunday Night Football back after these messages. What are they missing with J.J. Watt since he came into the league in 2011? Sacks and hits, most in the league by a lot. Almost 40 more than Von Miller. Tackles for no gain or loss, most in the league. Michael Bennett would be next, and he's way back. Average gain allowed per tackle less than a yard. Twice as good as the next highest guy. And all those 99s around here, and they saw what you all saw. The knee injury, and back to the locker room. Not looking good. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya. Start the second quarter. 2nd down and 8 for Kansas City from the 38-yard line. Smith fires, and that's caught by Kelsey. And Kelsey to the 43-yard line. He goes, the great tight end. So they lose Merciless, and now you lose J.J. Watt. And you're sitting over there, you're Mike Vrabel and you're Bill O'Brien, you're Romeo Cornell, that whole staff. And what are you thinking right now?
You know what you're thinking? We finally found offense around here. And now look what happens to us on the defensive side. But I think it's even more than that. J.J. Watt in this community means so much more than a football player or a championship or anything else. What he has done in this community has just been remarkable. And there's just a sense of sadness, really, with that injury.
That's the perfect word for it. Meanwhile, another first down here. Demetrius Harris, the number 2 tight end, makes the catch. And that's another first down for the Chiefs, who have a total of 8 to Houston's 2 at this point.
You know, the Texans don't have a lot of pass rushers. They have a lot of run players along that defensive line for Mike Vrabel because they have these great pass rushers that they can unleash. And so now with those 2 guys out, they really are going to almost be totally reliant upon Jadeveon Clowney and maybe Bernardrick McKinney, but that's about it.
Hunt still can't get on track. McKinney, their top tackler, getting him to the ground. So for Hunt right now, 9 carries for 5 net yards.
We haven't seen that a lot, although we will say that what this young man does in the second half of the games and fourth quarter of games have been pretty remarkable. He hasn't always come out of the gate roaring, but before this night's over, you will see it. Although they probably do have a better pure run playing team on the field right now with some of these big guys.
2nd and 10. Little shovel pass. And Kareem Hunt. And again, well, they have all eyes on him tonight. It's Dylan Cole making the tackle. You're right, Chris. He's been a great second half runner, as have the Chiefs as a team. You talk about an ignominious beginning to a career. We were there opening night. First offensive play of the year for Kansas City. A fumble. He loses it. That's been their only turnover all season.
And then he set a record for most yards from scrimmage by a rookie. He met his mom in the tunnel after the game, and she was so excited she couldn't contain herself. And Kareem came out and said, "I can't believe I fumbled, Mom. I can't believe I fumbled."
He'd never launched a fumble in 4 years at Toledo. Fumble once, recovered it himself. Smith throws, and a tackle is made to prevent a first down as Kelsey is able to make the catch. Kareem Jackson saves the first down. It's 4th and 2.
Nice job by Kareem Jackson right here, coming up and making this play. And then I was watching a little extracurricular at the end of it because Andre Howe came over and knocked the ball out of Kelsey's hands, and Kelsey turned on the official. The official put his hand on the flag as if he were going to throw it on Kelsey. Oh, just past that. Got a little heated.
Kelsey's been involved in a few things over the years as Butker from 42 yards bangs it straight down the middle. Early second quarter, it's 6-0 Chiefs. Here's downtown Houston as tonight's aerial coverage is being brought to you by Geico, and about a 25-minute drive away, NRG Stadium. Roof closed tonight. Very hot day outside. Temperature today got up into the 90s. Nice and comfortable inside. 6-0 Kansas City as Butker gets set to kick off. 11:23 to the half. Meanwhile, the X-ray room, J.J. Watt is there, and it certainly is in use or has been in use. And unfortunately, there is an ambulance which we believe is ready to take him to a nearby hospital. So a guy who's no stranger to the surgical table, missed 13 games last year, and can only hope that he doesn't have to undergo something else real soon. This is the second possession for the Texans will swinging to the outside and picking up about 3 goes Lamar Miller. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Texans.
Well, Frank Zombo is never going to be the guy that's going to get the sacks that D Ford or Tom Bailey is going to get, but what you will see with him is he's very athletic on the edge, and with all this sort of read option game that Deshaun Watson plays, he's pretty good at that.
Watson, who didn't take very many snaps at Clemson from under center, takes one here. Reggie Ragland, who was picked up at the beginning of the season from Buffalo, where he spent all of last year on injured reserve, put the heat on. 3rd and 6. So, of course, but Kansas City in the catbird seat, 2nd down and 7, leading 13-0. Smith flushed out, keeps his eyes downfield, and throws incomplete. That was Hunt. 3rd down and 7. Speaking of Hunt,
he has been something special for sure ever since we saw him on opening night. 31 times he's forced missed tackles, most in the NFL by a big margin. 3.8 yards per carry after contact. There's some running backs that average that period, and 7 runs of 15 yards or more, first among all the running backs.
Second half in Houston, 23-7 Kansas City. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya. Sunday Night Football. Some of the numbers through the first 30 minutes of competition. Another big night for Alex Smith, who's put himself right in the middle of the early MVP hunt. Meanwhile, Watson has been limited to 4 out of 12. The rookie, 60 yards. Kelsey, 11 targets, 8 catches. West, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, and a phenomenal block. But the big story for the Texans, J.J. Watt, knee injury, taken to a local hospital. Did not look good at all. They also lost Merciless, their top linebacker, in the first half as well. So it's been a very tough night on what was a very buzz-filled night coming into this, with the Texans coming off that performance last week, 57 points against Tennessee. But the Texans will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Harrison Butker, the rookie from Georgia Tech, will send it down toward one Chris Thompson. Well, if we go in the 3rd quarter and then backing up, and Thompson is able to run this one back, and he comes straight up the middle to the 22-yard line, and we go to Michelle.
Well, Bill O'Brien, Al, told me that he has no further updates on J.J. Watt, who left with a knee injury, or Whitney Merciless out with a chest injury. But he said, look, we've got to go play. And he thinks their offense can still run the ball, mix in some play action, get a score, and change the momentum of this game. As for Andy Reid, despite scoring on all 5 of their possessions, he said, we're kicking too many field goals. We got to get in the end zone.
Yeah, they've bogged down, Michelle, in the red zone, but they still have a 16-point lead. O'Brien talking about running the ball, and they did that with great effectiveness on their touchdown drive. And they'll start by running it here with Lamar Miller for a minimal gain, if any. Derek Johnson makes the tackle, 2nd and long.
Derek Johnson's one of those guys that he can cover the pass, and he loves dipping his shoulder to make hits. You don't often see him wrapping his arms up and making tackles. He almost blocks guys to the ground in the way that he does it, but he is all over the field, sideline to sideline, still, even at this point in his career.
Foreman is the running back at that big 25-yard run toward the end of the half. Rookie to the 26. Zombo makes the tackle. We go back to what happened to J.J. Watt, Chris, in the first half.
Yeah, got his feet tangled up with his own guy there in Brennan Scarlett, and then you called it right, Al. It just took the air out of this building. I mean, this town was just buzzing all week. Their offense had been so explosive a couple of weeks in a row, and come out and get a couple of key injuries on the defensive side right away, and it just hasn't been recaptured yet.
3rd down and 6. Watson stepping up, and he's going to get surrounded and sacked at the 18-yard line. Justin Houston came in first. Daniel Sorensen was there as well. A 3 and out to start the second half.
Well, you bring a safety down around the linebacker position, and it sets up some of these kind of stunts here. Sorensen's going to go hard inside. Johnson looping around along with Justin Smith on the outside, or Justin Houston on the outside, and there you go. This is not a team that can make a living out of drop back passing. I just don't think that line's going to hold up in that manner.
Shane Leckler, 47-yard lifetime average, which is terrific. Fielded to 23 by Hill. Hill trying to get around the corner, but he's surrounded by blue shirts, and they knock him to the ground at the 16-yard line. Corey Moore there. Kansas City with the ball, 23-7.
Alex Smith with a tremendous first half, and we thought we'd give you a little NBC it action so you could see it as Alex sees it. Coming out, going to find Charkandrick West there. There's my guy. All right, he's got a little space. Let me get him football. That's touchdown number 1, and that's NBC it. Pretty cool. A little dance from Alex too.
Great half for him. 75% completion percentage, 207 yards. Meanwhile, Tyreek Hill was shaken up as he was tackled on that run back. Get a little assistance, get to the bench, trying to work it off. Kareem Hunt is the running back from the 16-yard line, and they begin with Hunt, and Hunt with a nice run, 9-yard pickup to the 25-yard line. Andre Howell, the safety, with the tackle. It'll be second down and 1.
Want to hear a strange stat from the first half?
Go for it.
Kareem Hunt, 14 carries for 25 yards, 26 yards after contact.
Wow.
So all of his yards plus 1 after contact. So that lets you know just how tough this defensive front has been against the run for Houston.
Second and 1. Kelsey is not in the game. He was shaken up at the end of the half, came back, but not in right now. And here's Hunt again, and they will knock him down, and he won't get anything after contact that time. Shot shy of the line. The gain, it'll be third down and 1.
Well, they're going to hammer away inside, and so for Kareem Hunt, we have seen him in this situation before, struggle early in the game. I thought the most impressive play, he's had so many in his first 3 games, 3 plays over 50 yards. It's one of the reasons he leads the league. But for Andy Reid, now he is just going to try and convert this first down, probably right back to Hunt again, and see if his big guys can take over this game.
KC 7 of 10 on third down. 8 of 11. That defense can't get off the field. To the 30-yard line he goes. First down, Kansas City.
Here we go, right out here. Big Mitchell Schwartz, who has to play against the likes of Von Miller and Mack and Boza week after week after week. I don't know who would volunteer to play right tackle in that division, but he makes the key block there.
Short drop, quick throw, caught. Albert Wilson. And Wilson up to the 42-yard line. Guy coming off a big performance, several key plays in their win against Washington the other night. Gain of 12 and a first down.
I tell you, this is the old Alex Smith here. This is the guy that's going to take a 3-step drop, get the ball out of his hand, throw the thing out there. In the first half, 2.81 seconds per release. And that is astronomical if you followed Alex Smith's career. He doesn't mind holding it now. The running game's going well, giving him new opportunities to do things he's never done.
Hunt takes the inside handoff, and off he goes for a gain of 13 yards. But a flag is down back at the KC 46-yard line.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That's the right guard. That is Cameron Irving.
Cameron Irving was thought to be a real star coming out of college. He played tackle, he played center. Everybody was enamored with him. Take a look at the hold right out there. And then it just didn't happen in Cleveland. It's hard to explain. 4 sacks he gave up, which was second most, 5 hits on the quarterback, third most. And so he comes here, gets a new lease on life, and they were excited to take a look at him here tonight. And really, he's played pretty well.
First down and 16 now from the 36-yard line. The fake to West. Demetrius Harris, and he gets taken down. That's a nice tackle there by Jonathan Banks to get him to the ground quickly. It'll be second down and 15.
Yeah, Jonathan Banks on the outside and Dylan Cole screaming out from the inside. It was really interesting talking to some of the Texans about that young man, and went undrafted, and everybody said, well, we all loved him, but he wasn't big enough or strong enough or fast. You know, all the tests that they have to do, and all they did was get him on the football field. Then they saw exactly what they saw in his college film, that he was darn good.
So much for the testing. Once in a while. Second and 15. Tyreek Hill is back in the game. And the pass is caught, and that is Ross Travis, number 3 tight end. And he gets taken down, tried to scoot away up the 45-yard line, able to hold on to it. 3rd and 7.
First of all, brilliant throw again by Alex Smith, and then Zach Cunningham came back from behind. He kind of got past the ball carrier, came up, and I don't think that Travis ever saw him coming back the other way. And there you go, strip it out.
Able to reach for it, recovered himself. Remember, Kansas City has not had a turnover this season since the first play of the season, when Hunt fumbled in New England. Play clock down to 3.
Clowney right over the center here, Zach Fulton.
Just to get it off, and Smith will keep it himself, but not go very far. Zach Cunningham, the rookie out of Vanderbilt, the 2nd-round pick, knocks him down, and we'll finally see the punt unit.
Well, see them all right in there. Alex Smith goes to the audible and tries to get the speed option going to the outside, but it was the speed of Zach Cunningham, number 41, that came into play more than the speed option. But Zach Cunningham's a nice-looking young player. You put on the film of him and you see the speed flashes, but you watch a little longer and he has some violent collisions inside.
Dustin Colquitt, 13 years in the league, all with Kansas City. His first boot of the night. Will bounce at the 20 and get down to about the 22-yard line. Halfway through 3rd quarter, KC by 16.
Pretty good slugfest going on between Terrence Mitchell and DeAndre Hopkins on the outside. It has started from early on in this game, and it has looked like this pretty much throughout the course of the evening. And of course, when you have Marcus Peters playing corner on the other side, Terrence Mitchell is going to get a lot of action. Here is the play right before the end of the half. And it got a little feisty on the tail end of it, and it will continue here, I'm sure. Mitchell is targeted 1 out of every 4 coverage snaps because basically teams avoid Marcus Peters on the other side.
And they know each other pretty well because Mitchell actually spent some time in camp last year here in Houston. Take the inside give, get it to Bruce Ellington, and he gets run out of bounds after a gain of 7, and we go to Michelle.
Well, we have an update on J.J. Watt, who left the field and then left the building in an ambulance. He has a tibial plateau fracture. Remember, it was that left knee that he injured, but we have confirmed that. A tibial plateau fracture for J.J. Watt.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Trying to get further word on how serious that would be in terms of how long he would be out. 2nd down and 2. Watson running around trying to find the open man, and does, and that is Foreman, who's able to plow his way for a first down.
I'll give you one guess. Who is the #1 player in the National Football League as far as the first tackler missing him? Watch this. That's a very dangerous play on both their parts. But people simply 94% of the time, Deontay Foreman is not tackled by the first guy that gets there.
He comes out after getting the first down. Miller with a good run. To midfield he goes. Taken down by Sorensen. So Lamar Miller having a nice night on the ground after a gain of 18. Carried the ball 10 times for 67 yards.
They've really given him a lot of problems here by sending a reverse or a motion or something across the face and having the back go the other way. I'm not sure exactly why Kansas City's having so many problems with that, but that's exactly what they were doing on their touchdown drive.
49. Good protection, deep downfield, but too deep, and a flag, though, is thrown. Philip Gaines looks around and says, me? Covering Bruce Ellington. Flag thrown at the 18-yard line. And everybody heading in that direction. 2 flags, in fact. Here's Torbert.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
31-yard penalty.
And Ellington, instead of finding the ball, went right to the referee. He knew what was happening to him, trying to get down the field, grabbed a couple of times. Philip Gaines been going through a lot of stuff with his knee over the past couple of years, but a good player.
Little toss back to Will Fuller. Got hurt in preseason, made his debut last week, scored a couple of touchdowns. Frank Zombo makes the tackle. And of course, Hopkins is their #1 guy. He's the leading receiver in the league coming into this week. But if Fuller can take some of the heat off Hopkins, what a difference that will make. And it's probably as fast as they come.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened last week. He scored a couple of touchdowns, had a long pass interference call, and it really opened things up for Hopkins.
Will Fuller, the 5th. 2nd and 5 from the 13. Nice hold. Lamar Miller close to a first down. Takes it inside the 10-yard line. A little short of the first. 3rd down.
Just the same thing inside zone. You'll see Griffin come over and kick off. But watch inside there. Nick Martin, now healthy after that ankle surgery, making some good plays. But it has been a pretty dominant performance whenever the Texans just go straight at this Kansas City defense.
3rd and 1. A little over 4 to play in the quarter. And that defense is able to stop them here for no gain. So it's going to be 4th down and 1. And I would imagine that O'Brien's going to go for it.
One of the things that you do is you end up out here with Justin Houston coming down, and that's who Watson is reading. So he comes there, and if he crashes down, he's supposed to pull that ball back out. Maybe that wasn't a true read option there. Bob Sutton knows all about that option game, though. But here we go. This is a huge play in the game.
4th down, inches. Watson will take it out of the shotgun. Big conversion here. Fakes the throw, rolling, throwing, caught, and it's a touchdown. Will Fuller.
He did.
So at this point in the game, almost a must conversion on 4th down, and they get the touchdown to boot.
Watson had no idea he was going to go back to Fuller. Looking at Hopkins the whole way, pulled it down, started to scramble. And boy, I tell you, how much confidence do you think Bill O'Brien has in his young quarterback on 4th and 1 with the way they've been running the football to put it in his hands? Another scramble, another big play, and a 3rd touchdown in 2 weeks for Fuller since he's come back.
And so it's a 10-point game at the moment. He'll try to make it, O'Brien will, a 1-possession game. So it'll be a 2-point attempt to try to make it 23-15. Play clock at 3 on the 2-point attempt.
That's the man coverage.
It goes this way, and it is intended for Will Fuller, and covered there by Marcus Peters. So 3:20 remaining in the quarter. KC by 10.
Michelle Tafoya back in Houston, where we told you that J.J. Watt has a fractured tibial plateau. Let's give you a little bit of a look at what that means. The tibial plateau is the shelf-like top of the tibia, which is the main bone of the shin on which the thigh bone rests. And typically, further tests and an MRI are going to be needed to determine how to manage that injury and what to do next, Al.
All right, thank you. I'm just trying to think, Michelle, who's had that in recent time? I think Des Bryant had it last year, and he missed maybe 3 games. So hopefully it's a short-term thing. You've had that, haven't you, in your career, Chris?
I actually did, yeah. And I think a lot of the treatment now comes down to they like pierce it, poke holes in it, get blood back in it, and then it layers back over the top. As strange as that sounds, I never did it. I was like, forget it, I'll retire.
Hoping for the best. So 23-13, Smith. Another big night for him. Great beginning to his season, and of course the question becomes with him looking ahead, does he sign again with Kansas City? Do they want to sign him again? It's going to be Mahomes' team at some particular point. Question is when.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice problem to have, right? You have a guy that you believed in so much, you traded up and gave away draft picks, and obviously they have great feelings about Patrick Mahomes, but how in the world Alex Smith has been absolutely brilliant, so I can't imagine this job's not going to be his next year.
That's caught by Tyreek Hill. Close to a first down.
Well, Alex Smith, as he's done throughout the course of his career, has this ability. He's not comfortable, he gets out. They tried to rush 3 against him early on, and they made him pay for that. His mobility, and remember last year he had a couple of concussions, and he didn't like the fact that he was sliding. He thought that that was more dangerous than going head first. But in that game against Washington, some of his runs at the end of the game basically won it.
Hunt up to the 39-yard line.
It's kind of interesting talking to Kareem Hunt, wasn't it? I said, first of all, he's a sweetheart of a guy, really a nice young man. And I said, when did you first know that you were a little something different? So I was hurt in college, and I really didn't get the chance to go through camp, and I finally got in my freshman year for a scrimmage, and I ran over our middle linebacker, and then the safety came up, and I broke his collarbone, and I figured, well, I can probably play this game, and he has proven his toughness out here in the NFL, too.
19 carries tonight for him. They flare him out on this play, and coming back to make the catches, Tyreek Hill. Needed 5. Meanwhile, Kelsey is being evaluated for a concussion in the Kansas City locker room. We saw him with the helmet to helmet at the end of the first half. They checked him out. He came back in. But here in the second half now, they take him back for evaluation. Here's the shot.
Well, it doesn't take much to understand why that is illegal, and I'm sure he'll be getting one of those FedEx packages in the mail this week.
Maybe it's UPS, I don't know.
Whoever.
Whatever. Second down and 10.
Whoever pays NBC, that's who it is. But, you know, this has turned into a bit of a power football game, and you know, you forget all the injuries that have taken place already on this Kansas City team, and they've lost 2 of their starting offensive linemen, and Mitch Morse, who's a very athletic center. Zach Fulton, maybe a little bigger and stronger. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, and Eric Berry on opening day we saw in New England. Really good players. Steven Nelson. Tom Ali hasn't played.
Yeah, Berry, you forget about that. Meanwhile, a little pass here that they almost wish should have been incomplete because Clowney read it perfectly and knocks Hunt down, and that's a loss of 6 yards.
You better be careful throwing the ball around this guy. Sometimes he catches it and takes it back the other way. He wasn't fooled for a minute here. And then there he is on the outside. My guy one more time. Cole coming up to make the play.
Third and 16. 8 of 12 of the Chiefs on third down, and most of them third and long, as is the case here.
Wow.
And Smith goes deep downfield and open and pulling it in. Tyreek Hill at the 22-yard line. So they do it again. They're just killing them on third down. That time 38 yards down the sideline.
Out, up. Here we go. He takes that hard inside release. You can see Jonathan Joseph basically just stumble a bit as he transitioned. Did he get his feet in bounds?
Right. Kansas City, well, Kansas City trying to run the play before they can challenge. Meanwhile, the quarter has expired. So they'll have a lot of time to look at it there because you've got the challenge flag that's already out, thrown by O'Brien. The question right now is, did the challenge flag come out before time ran out at the end of the quarter? So obviously they're going to look at this, whether it's the beginning of the fourth or the end of the third. Torbert will let us know, I hope.
Houston is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch. We'll review the play.
Reviewing the play. Did the challenge flag come out, though, before the clock had expired?
Look. All right.
Is the shoelace
right.
loose?
Here we go. Both feet off the ground. I don't.
Well, it's all about the left foot. Was it down when he...
We could stop it on the catch right there.
Oh, interesting.
Because not sure the left foot. Oh, that's close.
Very. Is that left foot being dragged as he has possession? Is the question.
I think there was a second kick of the pellets. Watch the first kick. No, the second one though. 1, 2.
And the whole question is going to be, will they determine that he had possession as he made that second kick? Because the right foot obviously is in before he goes out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, for a young man that is sort of learning the wide receiver position, to get that second click of the toe down, pretty impressive.
And to get it down as he had possession. Again, it's the call on the field. Was a completed pass. Did they see enough to overturn it? Here's Torbert.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called as a completed catch. It's first down. Houston will be charged with their first time out of the half. That is the end of the third quarter.
So that's the way the quarter ends. It's 23-13, Kansas City, and Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages. Tonight's aerial coverage as you look down upon downtown Houston, brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels with Chris Collinsworth and Michelle Tafoya. We go back to the catch here, and you can see it's that second tap of the left foot while he has possession. So he's gaining possession right about there. And there you see the pebbles coming up. Right foot clearly down. Call stands. And on a 3rd and 1,000,000, they convert again. 9 of 13 conversions on 3rd down tonight. Most of them medium to long distance.
And another deep one from Alex Smith. The new Alex Smith.
The new one. 2.0. And that pass is incomplete, intended for Hill, who runs out the tunnel. Covered by Jonathan Joseph. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Sometimes when I watch Tyreek Hill, I just wonder what it would be like to run almost 23 miles an hour. Next Gen Stats have him just under 23 miles an hour, fastest in the league. I mean, it's ridiculous how fast he can move it. He hasn't been quite the same, though, on the return game this year. Right? How many times have we seen him returning kicks and punts? There's a matchup for you. It has been all Alex Smith tonight.
2nd down and 10. Punt. And it'll be taken down by the leg by Jonathan Joseph, making it another 3rd down, 3rd and 5. 59 plays run tonight by Kansas City. Mentioned before last week that Houston defense faced only 41 plays the entire game. All the stats are tilted toward Kansas City. 347 yards to 191.
There's 2 guys really you look for here, and that's Jadeveon Clowney and Bernardrick McKinney, 55. Those are the 2 pressure guys at this point.
Timeout taken here by KC. Well, the NFL and the American Cancer Society are broadening the scope of their efforts to tackle multiple types of cancer. Learn more about the expanded Crucial Catch initiative at NFL.com/Crucial Catch. And a lot of cancer survivors coming out onto the field in a great ceremony at halftime here. So back we come, 3rd down and 5 after the timeout for Kansas City.
Got to watch the shovel pass when they have a double wing. They use it a lot.
Set a straight drop, and he gets it away under pressure that time because Clowney was racing in. It'll be 4th down, and again they will attempt a field goal.
It's just so much different on offense for Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs without Travis Kelce in there. He is such a marquee part of this offense, and truly sort of the new triplets, if you will, because they have been so dynamic between Hunt and Kelce and Hill.
3 field goals tonight for the rookie Butker, 35, 42, and 41. This a 35-yarder. Cole quick to put it down, and he remains perfect. Minute into the 4th quarter, 26-13, Chiefs. Tonight's game being brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Well, a few weeks ago, that's what it looked like. The entire CE King campus underwater after Hurricane Harvey. But this was Friday night. Lights back on. Panthers hosted North Shore in their first district home game. Final score, North Shore 45, CE King 28. But a great sight there as this region continues to recover from the after effects of Hurricane Harvey.
A resilient bunch around here, though, aren't they?
For sure. So a minute into the 4th quarter, 13-point game. And a touchback. So this was the scene. 400-acre Royal Purple Raceway in suburban Baytown, housing nearly 30,000 cars that were abandoned in the aftermath of the hurricane. Talking to some law enforcement people here yesterday. They're on their way to, I don't want to say a full recovery.
Offside. Kicking team number 45. Houston is elected to add the 5-yard penalty to the dead ball spot. It'll be Houston's ball, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
As you say, Chris, resiliency would be the word here.
Yeah, they said they were down to about 2 shelters now, and they had a lot of people in shelters, obviously, for a while, and down to about 2, so they're making progress, and it's good to see. And really, as you walk around, you can see the progress being made.
And it's great what sports can do in its own little way to heal some of the wounds. As the Texans begin this drive, Watson's become so big a star in this town right off the bat. J.J. Watt and what he did. The Astros leading the Red Sox 2-1. That was important too, that the Astros got back and played, I think, about a week later after they were forced to go out on the road, and they went back to their digs at Minute Maid Park. Houston strong.
Yeah, the Astros were winning, and Watson was playing great, and I mean there was a lot of excitement in Houston, wasn't there?
Oh yeah. Well, the baseball team still up 2-1. 2nd down and 8 at the 32. Off the play fake. That pass is tipped away, intended for Hopkins, who tonight has been limited to that 1 catch, and that was a touchdown catch.
Oh, Daniel Sorensen almost got that one. This is a zone drop underneath this out route, and Watson tried to throw it over his head, and it was almost. But I tell you, this Terrence Mitchell's had a night too. We have seen DeAndre Hopkins tear some teams up, but he has been on him this evening.
3rd and 8. Texans only 1 of 6 on 3rd down tonight. Watson backing away, scrambling away. Off he goes for a 1st down and slides to a stop at midfield.
Kevin Pierre-Louis is going to be the spy right there on Watson, and Watson just made a miss. Had the perfect defense call, just couldn't get him on the ground. So now he's out in the open field and doing his thing.
Gain of 16. Spotted at the 48. And began that slide. 4-yard gain here for Lamar Miller, who's now gained 77 yards on the ground tonight. Bill O'Brien, boy, I tell you, he's done some reclamation projects. Of course, he went to Penn State following the whole Joe Paterno, Jerry Sandusky thing. Did a good job there. Came down here. They were 2-14. And he's led them to 3 straight years winning seasons, 9-7 in each.
And he's been looking for a quarterback every year, hasn't he?
2nd and 6. Watson throwing deep downfield, and it is caught. Will Fuller, touchdown. Terrence Mitchell all over him, but he's still able to haul it in 48 yards.
Raheem Nunez-Rocha is going to come all the way around, and Deshaun Watson is going to make him miss to buy just enough time to find his guy deep across the middle, and there he is. Will Fuller has been, now that is his 4th touchdown. Boy, there's a good battle going on, but I don't think that was interference, but that was all Watson as we have seen him do.
Ten TD passes now for Watson. First rookie to throw 10 in the first 5 games of the season. Fuller, in only his 2nd game back from injury, 4 touchdown grabs. And it's a game again. And it's a 6-point game. Barron with the extra point. 12 minutes left in regulation. 26-20. Kansas City. The boys just won a 4th Emmy this season, gunning for a 5th. Adam, Blake, Miley, and new coach Jennifer Hudson battled it out on the blind auditions. It's The Voice. Check it out tomorrow and Tuesday on NBC. 6-point game. During commercial, Marcus Peters had a few things on his mind. Justin Houston coming over to try to calm him down. And an outburst on Monday night when he was beaten for a couple of touchdowns in the Washington game. Barron to kick off, returnable, 2 yards in. Akeem Hunt out past the 20 and run into the Texan bench at the 30-yard line. Talking about O'Brien trying to find that quarterback, coming down to Texas, drilling for quarterbacks. In his first 50 games, he had 9 different starting quarterbacks and a winning record, 28-22. John McKay would be the only other coach to win or to have 9 quarterbacks in his first 50 games, 12-30. Of course, that's when the Buccaneers were. Off we go to the Rockies for Sunday Night Football. A week from tonight, it's the Giants heading to Denver. Broncos had a bye week. Giants lose to San Diego, and boy, I tell you, it was a bad day. All the receivers went down. Beckham fractured his ankle. Shepard got hurt early on. Marshall carted off.
For them.
Well, I wouldn't be talking about undefeated with anybody. It's so funny, though. The irony is, in the offseason, when everybody thought New England had gotten better, the Super Bowl champs, and all of the talk, a lot of the talk anyway, was could it be a perfect season?
Yeah.
And Kansas City ended New England's perfect season in 3 hours.
Yeah. And, you know, assuming they get all healthy and everything's good, then, you know, they've got a lot of different ways to win a football game right now. And I think very underrated a little bit is the secondary and the way they can cover a passing game now. They're very aggressive with it.
Hopkins gets taken out of bounds. And that secondary, as you mentioned before, I mean, you think about the fact on opening night, as great as it was for Kansas City, they lose Eric Berry, who's as good as it gets in the secondary.
Now, what a battle he had going on with Gronk that night. Remember that? The back and forth, those two guys. But they, of course, Marcus Peters, the premier guy, Daniel Sorensen fills in for Barry, now plays a lot of linebacker. Ron Parker, an excellent cover guy at the safety position.
Look at near sack. Gets it away downfield, caught. And that is Steven Anderson, the number 2 tight end. Tackled there by Peters. Clock keeps ticking, under 40 to play.
I tell you, Deshaun Watson has a little Russell Wilson in him, doesn't he? Yep. Just the way he can escape and make plays. And when he does, what I like about what he does, he keeps his eyes down the field, but he's not looking to dump it off. He's looking for big plays out of it, and he's been making them tonight. Impressive young man in every way. Impressed with him on the field, obviously, but very humble. He's a guy that did some great things, taking care of the cafeteria workers and who were hurt by the hurricane. Just a remarkable young man.
And Mr. Menace gave his first game check to 3 of the team facilities cafeteria workers. Check worth about $27K. And Watson launches one to the end zone. A jump ball there caught at the 1-yard line. And that's Anderson, the tight end, who just caught the last pass. Now it's going to be 1st and goal. Nothing else to try to get this into the end zone. Clock ticking down. That's 42 yards. 7 seconds, 6. Spike it here with 5 seconds.
I think I know what their offense is going to turn into. Let's throw some jump balls into the end zone. They got guys that can just go up and sky over. Do you know how hard that catch is right there? And then land. He just got above everybody. Ron Parker thought he had a game-ending interception, and all of a sudden it was Steven Anderson right over the top of him.
2nd and goal. 5 ticks remaining. And he's going to float this one to Hopkins for a touchdown as time runs out, but that is going to be a 5th touchdown pass tonight for Watson. And still the conversion to go. So for Hopkins tonight, 3 touchdown catches.
Just a great route to set it up and to be so patient, just wide open against Terrence Mitchell. On the back end of that play, boy, it was a little scary. I think Deshaun Watson got rolled up on as he let this thing go, and kind of, I was like, uh-oh. Now here they go, give it a shot for 2.
5 touchdowns, tying an NFL rookie record. 3 other guys did it. Last was Jameis Winston, and he'll run that in for a 2-point conversion. So the game is over. It turns out to be a 1-possession game. 8-point differential. Kansas City goes to 5-0. Houston goes to 2-3. 42-34 is the final score. Big night again for Alex Smith. 324 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Coming up next, Volkswagen postgame report after these messages from your NBC station.